So, I want to start out by talking about some of the challenges of social media, specifically from the standpoint of an author. Social media has been around for a couple of decades now, and obviously people have flocked to it because it's fun and it's interesting and it's a way to connect with people and it's a way to connect with businesses and brands. And over time, the algorithms have changed and the companies have changed and the platforms have changed. And of course, with that comes a lot of difficulties, especially if you sort of get used to using it one way and then you have to change your process or you have to change your method because the platform changed or the algorithm changed or something about it changed. There are billions of people on social media across the world, which is a crazy number, to be quite honest. And so what this means is that there are billions of people and billions of perspectives and all kinds of different people who are looking for different things on social media. And so it can sort of be, I like to call it a cesspool. There can be a lot of people on there who they don't care about anybody else. They're only in it for themselves. There's a lot of hate on social media. There's a lot of angst on social media. But there's also a lot of positive things. There are people connecting. There's some really great content out there that's available. And when you're thinking about using it from the perspective of an author, there are tons and tons of readers on social media. Of course, the trick is finding those readers because there are so many people on social media. So it's definitely a fantastic tool for reaching an audience, but it can be difficult to sift through all of the different people, all of the different platforms, all of the different tools, and really figure out what's going to work for you and your author brand. I'm sure if you're taking a course on social media, you already have a little bit of understanding of like what it is, and you've probably come across a wide variety of tools and strategies and like different information from different sources about how to best use it. There's all kinds of information. If you're looking for more like really tactical stuff, like how often should you post and what times of day are best to post, and how to use social media from a technical standpoint, like how to set up a Facebook ad or how to post on Facebook. There are tons and tons of resources available for that on the internet. I highly recommend checking out HubSpot. They're a marketing focused company that helps a really wide variety of brands market their work. And they're big on data and analytics. And so they track everything and they know a lot. So this particular course, though, I really want to focus on authors and how we can use social media to find our audience, and how different strategies that authors specifically can use. So my stuff isn't going to be the more general tactical stuff. It's going to be very specific to authors and books, and some sort of intellectual content, that the intellectual product side of social media marketing. I personally have been doing social media for a long time. I'm a solid millennial. I joined Facebook in 2006, I think, maybe 2007. And I've done it for myself, just as a personal, in a personal way. I've done it for my author brand. I've helped different clients and for different companies back when I used to work full-time in the corporate world. And so I think the first thing that I had to get past in order to really be successful with social media is that it should be easy. This idea that it should be quick and fast. And I think that because it's simple to just go on Facebook, type something up and post it, right? It takes like 2 minutes. There's sort of this feeling like it should be easy. Like, why aren't people seeing it? Why aren't people engaging with me? Like, why is it so hard to get people to pay attention to me? And the fact of the matter is that it's not simple. It's not easy. It seems like it should be, but it really isn't. And the second thing that I had to get past was that people cared. This idea that If I posted something, people would see and engage because they care about me and they care about what I'm doing. But the truth is, people don't really care. And that probably sounds harsh and jaded. But people are very focused on themselves and their, immediate world. And so just because you post something that you think is interesting and that you think is engaging, it doesn't mean that they agree. And so it's kind of like a hard pill to swallow, but people don't really care what you're doing unless it benefits them or serves them in some way. And they're the only ones who can decide that. You can't be like, oh, my content's so great, it's totally going to help you. They're the only ones that can actually decide if that's true. And then the third challenge that I sort of had to get over in order to be successful was the idea that posting a lot of content is the best way to go. Again, because it's easy to post content, sort of the next step is that if I post a lot of content, then surely something is going to resonate with people. And surely, if just posting a lot is going to make people start to notice me and think about me. And that's not necessarily true either. The algorithms, the more, I guess, spam or the more crap that you post, the algorithms don't like that. They like it when you post content that people engage with. So I'm going to go and say pretty firmly here that quality over quantity every time as far as social media is concerned. And especially when you're on your own and you don't have a team to manage content for you, why waste your time creating content that's just sort of filler, when you could be creating content that's really valuable and really gonna help your reader potentially engage with you and your brand. So a couple things, just sort of high level things that I've learned from doing social media. The first is that people don't care about my content. Again, they don't care unless they get something out of it. And I'm going to talk more about that later. Like, how can you create content that gives in a way that's going to attract people's attention? Content that engages people but doesn't make them curious about my work and my brand is ultimately useless. The number of likes on a post or on a page is ultimately irrelevant. You really want engagement at sort of a more deep level. You want people commenting on your work or on your posts, and you want people messaging you. You want them clicking through. You want them sharing. And these types of actions are 1,000 times more valuable than likes. Just from a personal perspective, I like people's stuff online all the time just to be nice because I like that person or I want them to feel good or because I think maybe they'll get a little bit more reach in the algorithm, not because I actually care about their content. And not everyone is like me, certainly. Absolutely not. But I'm going to go with there's probably either a lot of people like me who like to be nice or they just ignore entirely. So if you just can create content that is engaging, that's definitely the win.